national recruiting analyst, flagrantfouls.com. Proud to introduce Kevin Pangos, future Gonzaga Bulldog, current Dr. Denison Husky. Welcome, thanks for being with us today, Kevin.
Thanks for having me.
So obviously a lot of interest in Spokane, Washington. Going to be going to Gonzaga next year. They've asked me to ask you a couple questions on behalf of some of the fans there. So we're going to get to that. The first question is actually from the gentleman who put this whole thing together. His name's Bob. He runs guboards.com. So his first question is, watching Gonzaga this season, do you think the many international tournaments and your experiences playing on the Canadian national team have made you college ready and better able to step into Gonzaga and contribute immediately?
Yeah, I definitely feel that it has. The competitiveness, playing against the top players in the world, it's definitely a step towards college basketball. I know in college it's another level completely. There's athletes, there's a bunch of guys that are going to make the NBA. So it is another step, but it's definitely helped because the competition I get in Canada right now isn't the same as it will be at the D1 level. So it's helped a lot, and I'm going to do it this summer as well to help prepare me for next year.
And his second question is, in what way do you believe you'll help Gonzaga the most? I.e., what do you bring to the table?
I believe next year I can bring my leadership. That's really one of my strengths. I can shoot the ball as well, but really I try to be vocal on the court and really get my team involved. That's always been one of my strengths. Is I'm a team-first guy, so anything I can do to help my team win, that's what I'm going to do. And if it means 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it means per game, I'm ready to do it.
So this next question from John in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. He wants to know how much, if any, has being in Canada affected your basketball career and aspirations? Is it tougher?
Yeah, there's goods and bads. It is tougher. As I said, the competition day in and day out isn't always the same. I have to be motivated myself and push myself. There's not always someone right beside me that I can battle with every day. So that kind of makes it tough, but at the same time, I feel like I can focus. I'm working with some trainers. We're getting some body stuff done where balance and core and all that sort of thing for next year. So there's goods and bads to it, but overall I think me and my family made the right decision, and I'll be ready for next year.
So this is from Zag Nation in Spokane. They want to know, Kevin, what's on deck for the Canadian junior national team this coming summer, and when do you expect to arrive on campus?
Well, this summer I'm hoping to play the junior national team that's going to Latvia for the World Championships. I'm not sure who's going to be on that team quite yet, but it's kind of in the mix, and we'll have tryouts starting soon. And hopefully we can make a statement again like we did last summer, hopefully win a medal. And what was the next part to that question?
And when do you expect to arrive on campus? Has that been something you thought about yet?
I've been talking to Coach Few a bit, and he wants to get me as early as possible because he wants me to get in the loop, learn the system, work with the guys, the trainer, really get me up to Division I level. And so it's kind of in the mix. We're not sure whether I can go in the summer session first or second. If not, maybe I'll just go on my own money in August. So we'll see, and I want to get down there as early as possible.
So the second question Zag Nation has for you is, which tunes do you plan on listening to in order to get ready before a game in the McCarthy Athletic Center? What does a white boy from Newmark listen to get in the zone?
I would have to say I'd listen to some Drake and Lil Wayne. That always gets me amped up.
Any particular song?
Up All Night. That one this summer really got me going. But I like the new stuff. I like trying to go on some websites, pick up the new stuff, whatever's out. I'm a hip hop guy, so whatever's out, whatever the team's listening to, a bit of Waka Flocka if that's in need. I'm whatever. I just like listening to hip hop.
Okay, so JM in Spokane, another guy from Spokane, wants to know that a lot of people believe that you're part of the best recruiting class Gonzaga has had in a long time. How much do you know about the incoming Gonzaga players, and what role did that have in your commitment?
That's a good question. First of all, I think it had a big role in my eyes. I'm going to be with these guys for 4 years, 5 years maybe, so I really wanted to play with a good group of guys. The coaches kept on telling me that they'll do their job, they'll fit the guys that I need to play with in the mix. So I trusted them. They did that, and I don't know too much about them quite yet. I've added them on Facebook, talked to them a bit. We're all excited for next year. So trying to get to know them a bit before next year, but I know we're all excited, and it's going to be fun playing with that group of guys. I know we have Gary Bell, who's shooting guard. He can really play defense, and Kyle can really shoot the ball, and Ryan's a workhorse, I hear. So they all seem like great guys, and I'm looking forward to meeting them.
So kind of the next question is kind of a little bit in that line. Mick from Richland, Washington wanted to know if you've ever played with or against Gary Bell. or if you've seen him play in practice up close.
Yeah, I saw him at the Nike Global Challenge in Portland this past summer, and I only saw him a bit, but the parts I saw, he really, as I said, likes to work on defense. I saw he really focused on that. He can shoot the ball, which I like getting guys in positions where they can make shots, and just works really hard. So a guy that I think I can push, he can push me, we can really work together to get better and make the team go as far as possible.
So TZ, all the way from Tokyo, a Gonzaga fan in Tokyo, wants to know, what about the Gonzaga program, coaching staff, and players made you choose Gonzaga?
I've said that before, and there's a lot of different factors. Gonzaga is great academically. They got a great basketball program that's always in the tournament. They've been, I think, 12 straight years in the tournament, which is the biggest stage. The coaching staff, they've got a really good group of core coaches right there that really push you. And I like how Coach Few lets his players play. He's not too stressed about how, right in the moment, how they're playing. He lets them play through mistakes and really just tries to get them up so they have confidence during the game. So I like that a lot about Gonzaga. It is pretty far, but it was the perfect situation. I couldn't think of anything I didn't like. So that was mainly the reason that I picked Gonzaga.
So Angela wants to know, Kevin, what are you going to do for poutine in Spokane, Washington?
Poutine, is that
It's a big Canadian thing, French fries and gravy.
I'm not a big poutine guy. I didn't even know that. So I try to eat healthy. I'm a vegetables and fruit kind of guy. So that's me. I'm on a nutrition plan right now, and I won't be eating much poutine. Let's put it that way.
Well, if you guys get any good poutine, you can send it my way. 'Cause I got no problem. I love poutine. So next guy wants to know, do you like fly fishing? And what are some of your hobbies off the floor? It looks like they're making fun of you a little bit for being Canadian.
Yeah, well, I know Coach Few likes fishing a lot, so that's probably a little shot at him. But I have fished before. My uncle's a big fisher, so he's taken me on some fishing trips and stuff. Not too much lately because I've been focusing on basketball, but I don't mind going fishing once in a while, catching some fish, frying it up. It's always good fresh, but I not much fly fishing. Never really been fly fishing, so maybe I'll try it sometime. We'll see.
So I know you're a bit of a gym rat, but do you have any other hobbies? Do you have any other hobbies off the
Other
floor?
hobbies?
That's the next part of his question.
I'm pretty low key. I like to hang out with friends. Play some video games, get in the gym. Whatever it is, I'm low key. Don't like to wander too much, and whatever's happening, I try to just go with the flow.
So just a question for me, actually. I'm going to jump in and ask you a question. Obviously, you said you're a guy who likes to spend time with your friends. You're one of the few guys who decided to stay home, play with your friends. Talk a little bit about Braden and Brett and kind of what they bring to the table in your team. I know that they're kind of guys who don't quite get the same spotlight you get. Talk a little bit about those guys and give them a little shine here.
Yeah, so the starters on our team are Mark Barone, Zach Marcelin, Brett Zufeld, and Braden Goen. We're all great friends. We play basketball a lot together. And playing with them, it's so much fun because you can see the chemistry we kind of have on the court. We played pickup all the time, so we know where people are going to be. And certain plays like today, you get people the ball in a spot that they like to be, and they hit the shot, and you point, and it's like that connection that you have knowing that your brother's on the court and kind of like family. So I've been with those guys for a long time. Really enjoyed playing with them this year, and as I said, trying to get our school and those guys on the map. It's been a lot of fun, and hopefully we can finish off this year strong.
So Maxwell in Sacramento, California has a question for you, and it's a question that kind of gets asked to you quite a bit. He wants to know, what do you think about the comparisons between you and Steve Nash? Do you feel added pressure to perform well because of those comparisons?
Yeah, sometimes I guess you can say that the comparisons to Steve Nash, they get blown up all the time. He's a great player, so it's an honor to have that comparison. But at the same time, I want to build my own name, my own kind of game, and he does some things that I don't know if anybody else can do. His vision, the way he controls the ball, his balance on the court. He might not be dunking the ball, but he's got some great skills. And I obviously look at his game and try to do some things that he does, but I try to mold my game around a bunch of different players so I can make my own kind of style of game, and people can say, well, you kind of play like Kevin Pangos. So that's my goal, and the comparison can be kind of tough, but I try to just ignore it and play my own game.
I'm obviously not a big comparison guy. I'm not going to compare you to a two-time MVP or a Hall of Famer. But, a lot of people in Canada do compare you to Steve Nash. I kind of think your game more closely resembles a Gonzaga guy. Personally, more of a John Stockton type guy. What do you know about Stockton, and are you excited to pick his brain a little bit if you get that opportunity?
I'm really looking forward to that, actually. That was a factor in going to Gonzaga, that John Stockton's in the loop there. He's part of the program, so a Hall of Famer like that, leading assists in all time, that's one of the biggest things that I can think of as a point guard. And just picking his brain, that people might not see some things on the court, and just little things that I can add to my game to take my game to the next level for the NBA, and who knows further than that. So that was a big factor. And John Stockton, I know he likes to be low key and really works with the Gonzaga guys, and his son's actually on the team, good guy, David Stockton, and it's going to be a lot of fun, I think, working with John Stockton.
So we talked recently, you told me you're taking a little bit of Kung Fu. So what are you hoping to accomplish by taking Kung Fu? I mean, that's not something, most basketball players decide to take up. So talk a little bit about that.
Well, the trainer working with, Sam, he was actually at the game today and kind of got me to remember some of the things we're working on. But a lot of it is core stuff, like balance on one foot, really how your body moves on the court, and stopping and starting really effectively. So that's a lot of stuff he works with. Hand quickness. Defense has always been one of my weaknesses, so working on hand quickness and trying to steal balls and move your feet to stay in front of a guy. That's probably the most important part of Kung Fu. He really just takes me along, and I just work with him. It's not like a whole group class, and he's got quite a mind. He really picks out little things that you probably wouldn't think of, but really can transfer into the basketball game pretty well. So full credit to him on what we've been doing so far, and I feel a lot better, a lot more agile on the floor, and a lot quicker with my feet and my hands.
So there you go, Gonzaga fans. I mean, if you see this guy at the club, you might want to keep your distance. You might want to keep it more casual. You don't want to mess around here. Kevin, this is a question from Jeff. He wants to know, what current Zag are you looking most forward to playing with?
That's a tough one. They got a lot of good players. I'd probably say the bigs. I like working with the big guys. Rob, he's a big body down low. He's a problem in practice, I hear, and in games, even watching him, he's quite a problem. And Elias Harris, I like his athleticism in the open floor. Hopefully those guys don't go get drafted too early or go move on to whatever they're going to do. I'd really like to play with those guys. But a lot of the guys, the freshmen coming in, Merninghofer, I'm still not sure how to say that name. He can shoot the ball. Manny, Kelly, the Canadians, Dower. They got a lot of potential, so a bit of everyone, but I'd probably say the bigs. I really like working with the bigs.
So another question from Bob in Spokane. He wants to know, how good would it look to see Anthony Bennett in a Gonzaga uniform? I know they're recruiting him a little bit.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Are you in his ear a little bit, or?
A little bit, but at the same time, I want him to make his own decision, because in the end, he has to live with it. So if he picks Gonzaga, I'll be really happy. He's like a brother to me. And it would kind of be good to see him in a Gonzaga uniform. He can really play above the rim, which is always fun to play with. Just toss it up there, let him go get it. But as I said, I'm going to let him make his decision. I'll tell him the goods about Gonzaga that I like, some of the bads, which I haven't found out quite yet. But I'll be honest with him, and we'll see what he picks. He's still got a bit of time.
So obviously they've kind of started to build the Canadian pipeline in Gonzaga.
Yeah.
They got 3 guys down there already. How well do you know those guys, and how much do you speak to those guys? Do you ever talk to those guys?
Yeah, Kelly took me around on the visit. He's a great guy. I know our families are friends as well. He was a lot of fun. I know Manny. I compete against him in the junior national practices a lot, and kind of built a relationship with him there. We battled each other. And Rob, I just kind of started to get to know over the last summer with Canada Basketball. He kind of saw me and we chatted a bit. And he's a really funny guy. So they're good guys to play with, really skilled. And I think Canada Basketball is getting a lot better. Well, I know Canada Basketball is getting a lot better, and we'll see how far we can take it.
So, I mean, that's the questions here from Gonzaga fans. Anything you want to tell them before we go? Any message you got for Gonzaga fans?
I'm really excited. That's it. I'm really excited to wear Gonzaga on my chest. I can't wait to get there. Hopefully it flies by this year so I can start working with the guys. And I really want to push that program to the next level, whether it's Final Four. That would be the main goal, and see where it takes us after that. And just going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait.
All right, well, before you get there, we got the St. Mike's 51st Annual Invitational Tournament, semifinals, finals. Good luck with that, and we'll see you tomorrow 10 a.m. bright and early.
Thank you.